while picking up my chopsticks. I accidentally saw my best friend rubbing her foot against my husband's leg. Just when I started to suspect they had some dirty secret, my husband suddenly spoke up. He said it was inconvenient for her and her mother to stay at our place, and suggested finding them another apartment. But I smiled and turned him down, because I had already sensed the greed and scheming in their eyes was obvious and unhidden. I decided to keep them around, to see what tricks they were planning to play. Sure enough, it didn't take long before I overheard the most vicious plan I've ever heard in my life. Turns out, after failing to seduce my husband, my best friend and her greedy mother came up with something even more sinister. They planned to steal my husband's sperm for IVF. As long as they could have a son, they could kick me out of the house as the legal wife and take over the billion-dollar fortune. After hearing all this, I wasn't even angry. Instead, I smiled coldly. A plan for revenge quietly formed in my mind. I was going to let these two stupid women learn what it means to reap what you sow. Not long after that, they made their move. After scheming day and night, they finally got what they thought was my husband's sperm and rushed to the hospital for the procedure. When my best friend came back with a 1-month pregnancy report, the two of them were overjoyed. They were already dreaming of becoming billionaires, but they didn't know I had already swapped the sperm. And now they started acting like queens in my house, living here comfortably to raise the baby. They even shamelessly demanded I hire the most expensive postpartum nanny for her. I played along and really hired a top-tier nanny that charged $200,000. But I only paid $1 as a deposit to show off in front of the nanny. My best friend actually stole my husband's bank card from his study to pay, only to find out the balance wasn't enough. In the end, she had to grit her teeth and used her own savings to pay a $50,000 breach penalty in installments. They thought money could buy peace, but their evil nature only got worse. While my husband and I were on a business trip, they fully revealed their monstrous true selves. They abused my daughter like crazy. They didn't feed her, forced her to stand in punishment, even tried to pour boiling water on her tiny hands. At the last second, my husband and I suddenly burst through the door, seeing our daughter covered in bruises. My husband flew into a rage and slapped my best friend across the face. She started bleeding and was rushed to the hospital. 10 months later, she showed up at our house holding a newborn baby boy, announcing in front of everyone that she had given birth to my husband's son and demanding he divorce me so she could become the lady of the house. Facing my husband's firm denial, this shameless mother and daughter duo started acting again. They made up lies saying my husband had taken advantage of her while drunk, trying to use public pressure to force him to submit. Watching this pathetic performance, my eyes stayed completely calm. I simply raised my hand and ordered the bodyguards to throw the two lunatics and the baby out of the house, even after being kicked out. My best friend still wouldn't give up. She ran to the street in front of our mansion with the baby in her arms, crying to passersby about her tragic story. She painted my husband as a heartless scumbag who used and dumped her, and smeared me as a ruthless villain. The crowd who didn't know the truth were stirred up. They all pulled out their phones to record. Surrounding our house, demanding an explanation, the internet exploded. Our company's reputation was on the brink. Just then, the front gates slowly opened. I walked out calmly, holding a paternity test report in my hand.